just wanted to talk today about going silver. You know, silver is the gateway rank. It's the first rank for all of us, but this month, new silvers get $200. So one thing I'm going to do when I get a chance this afternoon is I'm going to go through my list and see who still hasn't hit silver that are my level ones, even wholesalers. And I'm going to see if they are interested in doing it because they'd get their products paid for. Like I just signed one new person earlier in the month before I went to Alaska, and she messaged me last night. She already wants to get her mom and her sister. And I'm like, well, one more and you could get $200. So that's intriguing for a lot of people. But let's talk about going to silver, okay? To hit silver, first, for those of you who might be new, you need 3 ambassadors on your team. And the easiest way is if they all buy welcome packs the same month, then you hit silver. If not, they just have to be commission qualified. So it could be a combination of new people with a welcome pack and other people to have 100 PV. But all 3 of them just have to be commission qualified in the same month. So convenience orders don't matter for ranks anymore. We just want convenience orders on because we want people to be consistent, but they don't matter for ranks. So for a lot of us, the easy way to hit silver is we ask our friends and our family to do it with us, right? I hit silver with my mom, my best friend, and my college roommate. And like my mom, I just told her she had to do it. My best friend, I told her she had to do it. And then my college roommate, I shared it with her and finally convinced her to do it. But for a lot of us, it's not that easy, right? For a lot of people, it's not that easy to go silver that quickly. In fact, Sarah Marble, who is one of the first diamonds in the company, it took her over 7 months to get silver, and 2 of them were family members. So I don't want anyone to feel like if you've not hit silver yet, that you're doing something wrong or there's some timeline. But if you want to hit silver in the next 8 days to get that July bonus, you can do it. You know, if what you've been doing isn't working, you just need to change it up. So the first thing I like to tell people when we're going for silver or really any rank or you're starting your Plexus business, you need to change your mindset. You need to stop thinking about selling and just focusing on sharing and focusing on who you can help. I think a lot of us have gotten kind of sucked into the selling mindset, or I need a new ambassador, or I need a new customer. I've certainly been there. I've been doing this now for 2.5 years, and I've gotten into that kind of rut. And I think when you do that, you come across as desperate and salesy, and you aren't going to be successful. So definitely check your mindset. You want to think about who you can help. And one of the best ways to do that are listen to testimonies. Listen to testimonies in the happy hour. Look at the ones I've been posting on the team page. And that's when you'll realize, wow, Plexus can help food allergies. Plexus can help migraines. Plexus can help IBS. And then you'll start thinking of people who you can help, okay? The other thing that comes with that, though, guys, is bold confidence. We do not want to convince anybody to try Plexus. We are not in the convincing business. We are in the helping, the health and happiness business.
Yeah, they don't stay if you're going to convince them.
Exactly. It's so true. And that just makes us, I don't know, I feel yucky when I'm trying to convince somebody.
Right.
You know, we shouldn't have to convince them how great our products are. They should see through us how great Plexus is, and they should want to try it, you know? Now,
I literally use that wording. I say, I'm not here to convince you because like I'm sold because it's changed my life, but you know,
exactly.
And you're not going to be consistent if you're doing it for me.
Exactly. In fact, I think it's Michelle Collins one time had somebody message her and be like, okay, convince me why I should try Plexus. She was like, nope.
No.
You know, like, I'll tell you how great it is, but I'm not convincing anybody. And so, guys, that's that bold confidence I'm talking about. There's even people that I've been like, Plexus really isn't for you. You know, you don't want to be so desperate to get anybody and everybody that's kind of what you're doing. You're committed. Because you're right, Marcy. They're not going to hang around.
Yeah.
They're going to buy once and they're going to be gone, right?
There'll be a white line in your back office haunting you month after month.
Exactly. So the more confident you are, though, I think the more people will want to try it, you know? Because if you're salesy, if you're desperate, if you're wishy-washy, they'll run the other way.
Yeah.
None of us want to be sold to. And so I saw something that really kind of hit home with me. I actually saw it early this morning, and it really goes around posting, but can also be about how you talk about Plexus. So posting, of course, is super important. What do we say with everyone when you want to start your business? You got to make your first Plexus post.
Mm-hmm.
And that's because people do have to know that you're using Plexus. They have to know. And if you're using it and you're having fun and you're feeling great, people want to be a part of that. Now,
Right.
you may not be a part of it on day one. I mean, I'm signing people now that I've been working on for almost 2 years. Now I'm in the ones that like I have been watching, finally coming on board. But when you post, you want to educate, you want to inform, and you want to entertain. And this goes with your non-Plexus posts too. I actually think your non-Plexus posts are just as important as your Plexus posts, right? Because that's what's going to get people watching you. But think of it as a blog versus a commercial. This just really hit home for some reason. In a commercial, it's very salesy, it's very advertising. You would see language such as, are you looking for an easy weeknight dinner? You should try, this will help you. Are you looking for something to help you on those busy nights? Okay, that's kind of a commercial, that's an ad.
Yeah.
Think of a blog post. A blog says something like, I was needing an easy weeknight dinner. I tried this because, boy, this really helps me on those busy nights. And that's what your Plexus post should be like, right? So because one of them is more intriguing, it grabs your attention. When people think they're being sold to, they just scroll right past. Doesn't matter how great the product is, doesn't matter it could help them. Doesn't matter that even at the bottom you've got really good information. They think they're being sold to right away, they're just going to scroll past it. A lot of times with posting, you'll see people say things like, are you feeling? Do you struggle with? Can I help you? That comes across. Or I've seen a couple where people have been like, you struggled with this and I could help you. Wouldn't you want me to? That just comes across those not very authentic. So instead, flip it, like you're writing a blog. I was feeling crap. I was exhausted. I was struggling with anxiety. This helps me. And if you do it like a blog post, people are going to be more engaged. So that's definitely the first thing to think about when you're making your Plexus post. Because, guys, I've been there. It's easy to get into, like, the salesy mode because the longer you've been doing this or the more testimonies you read, you realize how awesome Plexus is. And you do want everyone to try it, and you want to put that information out there, but just take a step back and see if it's coming across as salesy. Because the other thing is, we think about Plexus 28 hours a day. Other people think about it 0. So you have to make a lot of your posts and a lot of your things at the 3rd grade level and assume they know nothing, right? And assume they don't even want to hear about it. So you're just kind of sharing your story. The other thing, though, with going silver, and this is kind of a learned skill, is how to talk to people, okay? Because let's say somebody messages you about, you make a great post and they message you or they comment and say, okay, tell me about it, right? Tell me about it. I think I want to try it. It is so easy to puke Plexus over this. I've seen people reply with a message when somebody says, hey, tell me about Plexus. They reply with like this much information about how great the Triplex is and the probiotic and the BioCleanse and Slam. And that's all great information, guys, but even people that are interested, that's way overwhelming, okay? That's way too much. You're going to scare them away. You're going to turn them away. So how to talk to people is something you need to work on when you want to get to silver. I always tell people to engage them in a conversation, okay? So have your Plexus elevator speech ready. So when somebody asks what Plexus is or they say, I'm interested, tell me more, you should be able to reply with like 2 or 3 sentences. And then engage them in a back and forth. So let me tell you what I do. I've been doing this, now for 2 years. When anybody says they're interested, I'm like, great, you are going to love Plexus. It's a health and wellness company based in Arizona, all natural products. I know you're going to love it, but first tell me your health issues or how you would like Plexus to help you. That's it. I don't tell them anything about a certain product. I don't tell them anything specific. I give them a little blurb. I'm confident and excited for them, tell them how much they're going to love it, and then I ask them. And then whatever they come back with, I always say 90% of the time, Plexus can absolutely help you with that. Here's the products I recommend. Assuming what they tell me, I can make a product recommendation right away. Sometimes you can't. Sometimes, you need more information. Sometimes they're like, I just want to lose weight. Or sometimes they're like, I'm just tired, right? So you need to engage them like, well, what else are you feeling? Are you on any medications? Have you taken any supplements? back and forth. And that's all I do. You just engage them in a conversation. And so sometimes that could take 15 minutes. Sometimes that could take 2 weeks, right? It just depends. I engage them in that conversation. And that's why I'm going to talk about it here a little bit later. That's why 3-way chats with your upline when you're brand new are so helpful. I'm going to talk about how to do those. But guys, that's how I learned that back and forth. That's how I learned not to keep Plexus. That's how I learned my elevator speech. I just put people in a 3-way chat with Sarah Taylor, who was a stranger at the time. I didn't even know her really. I just signed up under her. And that's how I got to silver. That's actually how I got to gold. A lot of you, I can't see how everyone that's on the call, but I know I was just talking about this the other day, and Michelle was like, yeah, I remember being in that 3-way chat with Sarah. So some of my early level ones can remember being in that 3-way chat. The other thing though, so posting is super important, right? You just want to tell people a story. You want them to see your post, but you don't get to silver necessarily, or you don't really get to any rank in this business by just posting. You have to reach out to people. You have to ask people to try Plexus. Now, this is a fine line because like Marcy and I were talking about, you know, you don't want to convince people, you don't want to beg people, but people don't rank with Facebook alone, right? It does take messaging. But a lot of times, so many people overthink a message. I see a lot of people asking, give me a blurb, give me a script, what should I say? Give me a copy and paste. But when you overthink it like that, I think it comes across as very salesy, right? You want to be authentic. You want to put yourself in that person's shoes, okay? So if I post on Facebook that I'm struggling with something and somebody sends me a message that comes across as them trying to sell me a product, I don't care how much it can help me. I'm going to already like not want to respond if their initial message is very salesy. Like, hey, have you thought about Plexus? Right? That's like, Instead, just be authentic and think about how you would approach them if you aren't even selling it. If you're not even a Plexus ambassador, but you saw something on TV that you think could help them, right? You want to care about them. You want to show them, hey, look, I see your post. I see you're struggling, and I don't even know if this could help you, but it's helped my friend Amy with her hypothyroidism. Have you thought about trying this probiotic, right? So you just want to be a lot more authentic. Think about how you would share a new restaurant with someone, or, you know, separate yourself from kind of the business. Because I think in the beginning, if you're so focused, I think you could come across as really, really salesy, okay? And there's no blurb, there's no script on reaching out to people, because I don't know how you know that person, right? If it's your best friend, or if it's your cousin, or if it's your sister or whatever, you don't want to send a script that I would use for a cold reach to that person. So just, you know, talk to them like you would talk to them about anything else, and just don't overthink it. The other thing, guys, is use your resources. So to get to silver, we have so many resources on the team now. Heck, back when I started, we had none of this. Back when I started, we had one team page. We didn't have Zoom. Our team calls were on, like, you called in on a conference line. And we didn't have online parties. We didn't have Facebook groups. Sounds like I'm, talking about the 70s or something. But now we have all these resources. So use them, okay, to get to silver. One is the happy hour. So the happy hour is every Thursday. But guys, those videos don't go away. So just because it's not Thursday, you could add somebody to the happy hour, tag them in like one of the migraine testimonies, and just say, hey, Sarah, you and I have been talking about Plexus. I know you struggle with migraines. I think you could relate to this person's story. And then what you want to do, though, is you just can't dump people into that happy hour. You want to, put them in, tag them in something they can relate to, but then follow up and say, hey, did you see that video from my friend Amy? What did you think? It helped her with migraines. I really think it could help you. Are you ready to try it? Is it something you want to try? So definitely use that happy hour, but don't think you have to wait until Thursday to put people in it. You could put someone in it today, have them watch a video, and have them sign up tonight, right? They don't actually have to wait until Thursday. The other thing, guys, if you're new or if you haven't done it in a while, you can do an online launch party. So before the happy hour, we did this a lot for people. Whenever anyone signed up for Plexus and they started, we did like an online Facebook party for them. You guys can do that still. Your upline can help you. I can help you. You can get some sidelines and do it together. All it is, you create a Facebook group. You put some people in it who are interested or who are on your list, and you want to ask them, right? Because we don't want to be one of those network marketing companies that just throws anyone in a group. I can't tell you how many LuLaRoe groups I'm in. It drives me crazy because nobody asks. They just throw you in. So we don't want to be those people. So definitely ask, like, hey, I'm hosting an information event tonight for my Plexus business. Can I add you? Right? That's all you want to say. Most everyone's going to say yes. But for however you do it, it could be a 3-day event, it could be a 1-day event, it could be a 2-hour event. We just post product information and testimonies, and that's it. It's not salesy, it's not spammy, and that's really a great way for them to learn. A lot of the people either on this call or on our team signed up after they were in one of those events. And the cool thing is, we have our outline that we used to use, but then Plexus actually came up with an outline too with all the graphics, all the product information. And so you can get that in your back office. You can get on the team page. So if anyone's interested in that, post on the team page and say, hey, I want to host one of these parties for my business. Is anyone interested, right? And we could even host it together. So those are really, really good. The other thing you guys can do as a resource, and we have outlines for this too, have people over to your house. Now, let me say that the one thing I love Plexus is that we're not a party company. Like when I started, I didn't have time for parties, right? But a lot of us are blues. We have the blue personality. We're very social. We like getting together with our friends. And so that's another great thing you can do for your Plexus business. Have people over for wine night, have people over for happy hour, have people over for Thursday after work or Friday after work to decompress, and then share Plexus. Or you can have an actual sip and see. I just find that nowadays, if you have something that's very salesy, like, hey, come help me with my Plexus business, people aren't going to come to your house. People are so like into their phones now, they don't even want to talk on the phone, let alone go to someone's house. So if you do something like that, what we have found is that if you make it more social, like a Friday night friends card game or happy hour, but you also share why you love Plexus and have kind of the pink drink there, you're going to be more successful. You're also going to be more successful if you get some friends to do it with you, or ask somebody who's not a Plexus ambassador to host it for you at their house. That not only opens a new network, but more people are likely to come if it's somebody who's not just doing it for their business, right? The other thing, guys, 3-way chats. I'm telling you, if you want to get to silver, 3-way chats. I still use these sometimes because, one, it's not that I don't know the products now. It's that a lot of times people need that third-party validation. So a lot of people, they'll freak out and they won't do 3-way chats. They think either because we're going to ambush people, we're going to be really salesy, or you're projecting onto that person that they're not going to want to be in a 3-way chat. So don't project and don't ask. Okay, so here's how you do it, guys. And trust me, I got to gold on 3-way chats with Sarah Taylor. They're so effective. And that's really how I learned a lot. It's how I learned to talk to people. It's how I learned to answer questions. It's how I learned to close a conversation and get people to order. So all you do, you don't want to break it right out of the gate, right? Be like, hey, you're interested? I'm going to throw you in a 3-way chat. No, what you want to do is when somebody comes to you and says, hey, tell me about Plexus, or if you reach out to somebody and say, hey, have you thought of it? And they're like, yeah, tell me more. You still want to engage them in that conversation and say, hey, you know, what health issues do you have? What health goals? How would you like Plexus to help? They might come back and tell you. You might make a product recommendation. That's when you add them to the 3-way chat. And all you say is, hey, I know Plexus can help you. You know, I think that Triplex would be amazing for your migraines, but my friend Amy is kind of a product guru and knows more than I do. I want to make sure I'm recommending the right thing. I'm adding her to this message. And then you just do it, okay? That's it. You add your upline, and then your upline knows to come in and be like, hey, I would love to answer any questions you have. You know, so-and-so is right. I agree with her. I think that Triplex would be great. Here's why. And then you kind of sit back if you're brand new, let your upline do the work, okay? A lot of times I've been in a 3-way chat, but I can't actually get a word in edgewise because the person keeps talking, which is fine. But if you want your upline to help you, introduce them and then kind of sit back and let them close. It really is a great way to learn. Now, if your upline's brand new, that's okay. Go to your next upline. If your upline isn't active, go to your next upline. Guys, it's just a great way to use your uplines as a resource to get to silver and, you know, to learn how to close. Because how to close is kind of a learned skill, okay? How to close the deal, and this sounds super salesy, but how to get people to start Plexus is kind of a learned skill. And let me tell you if you can kind of see the difference here. I was a Plexus skeptic, okay? When Sarah Taylor mentioned Plexus, she was a stranger. I was like, no way, you're crazy, not happening. When she finally got me on the phone though, which by the way, guys, I gave her my phone number so she could tell me about Plexus, and I ignored those phone calls for 9 days, okay? So talk about persistence, okay? And just, you know, following up with people. If she hadn't, after multiple, and I seriously was like, I'm busy, I'm in a meeting, I'm in session, I can't. Like, if she had quit, none of us would be here. I wouldn't be here, right? So that's a good lesson in being persistent and following up. But when she finally got me on the phone, she had this bold confidence that made me want to try Plexus. She said things like, you're going to love it. It's going to help your thyroid. It can do this for you. It's done this for other people. I'm so excited for you to get started. I can't wait for you to try it. When you get your order, I'm going to call you. That's the language she used, okay? And I was a skeptic. Had she said things like, if you're interested, it might help you. What do you think? Let me know. I would have been like, nah, no thanks. When you're kind of wishy-washy and you're not confident and you don't use that positive language in the close, you might lose them because they're probably skeptics anyway. Even though they say they're interested, they still might not be sure. So that's why learning how to close, using positive language, always assuming the sale is going to want them, it's going to get them to try it, right? Don't say things like, if you're interested, because they still might be on the fence. And if you say, if you're interested, they may be like, well, I don't know, maybe not. Or if you say, you know, what do you think? They may be like, well, I don't know, right? Because they're skeptics. They don't know what to think. That's why you want to say things like, I can't wait for you to get started. Here's the website. When you place your order, I'm going to call you. You are going to love Plexus, right? So be bold and confident and just assume they're going to order because you know how much it's going to help them. You are going to assume they're going to order. Why wouldn't they order? You just told them how it could help them with their migraines. Hey, babe. Papal's birthday cake is later today. Sorry, Mommy's on a team call right now. Well, maybe Papal can make your pancakes. Sorry, guys. So the other thing, and I'm going to cut this here. We're already at 30 minutes. I know it's Saturday morning. The other thing about going silver, guys, we have a lot of resources on YouTube, okay? Go to YouTube. All the Plexus jewels have a channel. I have a channel. Sarah Taylor has one. If you connect with somebody else like Jill Renfro, I know a lot of people on the team love Jill, Sonia Dudley, all of them have a channel on YouTube. Almost all of us have a Silver in 7 series. Guys, you can do the series anytime you want. You don't have to be brand new. You could be 2 years in and decide, you know what? I'm going to go silver in 7 days. And you can watch those videos. It's like a 3 or 4 minute video for every single day, and it gives you a task, okay? I'm doing the Christmas in July on the team page right now. That's a great IPA challenge. IPA is income producing activity, so it's posting, it's messaging, it's follow-up, things that are gonna get you making money in the business. That's what IPA is. So like scrolling Facebook doesn't count. But go check that out. If you just search Plexus Silver, you're going to come up with tons of videos and tips. That's what I did in the beginning. I remember I would be commuting, and I would put on a YouTube channel. Sonia Dudley was a big one back then. A lot of people didn't have YouTube channels back then, but Sonia Dudley did. Who else did I watch back then? A couple of other people. Sarah Marble, Jen Hawkins. So be a sponge. Absorb it. And if what you're doing isn't working, see how you can change it up, right? Ask a sideline, ask your upline. Be like, hey, can you go look at my Facebook page and be honest? Tell me what you think. I mean, I've certainly gotten in the rut. This happened to me about 3 or 4 months ago. I was like, man, I'm not getting any kind of hits. Nobody's interested in Plexus. Part of it is because I've gone through my warm market, and now I'm at the point where I got to turn my cold market into my warm market. So I got to work a lot on relationship building, right? And like just being that friend to people. But I got in a rut where I was like posting terrible stuff on Facebook, man. I wasn't engaging people. I wasn't like doing fun personal posts. So I asked Sarah Taylor, who, do you want anyone to give you honest feedback? Ask Sarah Taylor. She was like, yeah, your posts kind of stink. Like you need to mix them up. They're not very engaging. They're not fun. Your Plexus posts are coming across as salesy, because I just got in that place where I was like, man, I don't know what to post. I feel like I've posted it all. She's like, no, just repost the same great post you posted a year ago, and don't post salesy things. So sometimes you just get in that rut. Sometimes you don't know how to post, right, when you're brand new. So ask somebody to give you feedback. The only thing is, when you do that, you have to be open to the feedback, right? So you have to be okay when somebody tells you, boy, that was a terrible post. Here's how you can make it better. So you guys have any questions? Any other tips you guys had on getting silver? No? All right. So definitely also, if you're looking to hit silver and you're not in our Silver Stars page, go check that out. When I was in Alaska, tons of people went live and gave their tips. And since everyone's different, everyone has their own tips for getting to silver. So go check that out. Different personalities. Like I'm a red blue, so what I do may not work for you if you're a yellow green. So go check that out, okay? Thanks for hanging out with me, guys.